Dude, over Mike something. Get a cover up.
No, get the fucking
A barbed wire around my ankle.
Joaquin Joker fucking
I think
portrait or something.
Boom.
Vultures circling above.
This shit is fire.
It's been a while.
My name.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking while.
Yeah, but if we just talk regular, if I'm going to work as hard as I'm working right now, I'm gonna maximize my
Your ink.
not only my ink, but like I'm gonna make a mark for it. So like I'm going to put a bunch of money away for business stuff. I'm gonna pay off all my credit cards. I'm gonna like
Get yadded.
get a little yadded. Yeah, my
Get
girl's gonna be so
yadded.
mad. She hates it. She hates when I get tattooed. She really does.
Why do you think?
Because it costs a lot of money. It does cost a lot of money. But I feel like it's permanent. It's like buying a pair of shoes. You only like, for me, I wear shoes and then I'll get tired of the shoes and then I will barely wear the shoes. But a tattoo, you get a tattoo and it's like, they'll be there until I'm dead, you know? Like, she was like, at least you can resell the shoes. I don't resell my shoes. I just let them
You could resell the yachts.
I can resell the yachts. I can cut my leg.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I'm getting tattooed on Friday. Just the start of a leg sleeve.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I need to get yadded after this whole fucking situation.
I'm not
We got like
doing...
COVID, like survivor.
Oh, the COVID molecule. There it was. No, I'm kidding. That's so lame. You can't say the G word or the R word.
The R word?
Or the F word.
Did you say the R word or the G word?
No, but I want to.
Oh, okay. You can just say the G word. Hey.
You're out. You're out of here.
That's the G word, bro.
No, that's the G word, the R word.
G word.
You know, I was talking to my gay friend and he was like, I know what you mean. Like if you say that, like everybody knows what I mean. But also
It doesn't.
But also
doesn't
say it.
Yeah, it's not as cool though. It's saying like
No.
G word.
No, don't say it. So what's going on, bro?
Fuck, dude. I'm here. I'm back for the
You're
first time. What's it been like?
Doesn't
6 weeks?
Has it been 6 weeks?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute, bro.
Yeah, you're back.
It's been like 4 or 5 weeks.
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing good now, dude. But yeah, so for the people who are listening, I've been MIA. I got sick. Got the fucking COVID in Vegas, or on the way back from Vegas. I think it's actually on the plane.
Hookers on the way back, or on the plane back.
Yeah, I was getting head from a hooker on the airplane on the way back, and I got COVID.
You ever jerk off on an airplane?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That feels like a sex crime to me. I feel like jerking off anywhere.
Is that the mile? Do you get part of the Mild Hot Club when you do that?
No, you don't. It doesn't count. But like, I listen to podcasts and people talking about like jerking off places, which I think every guy has. I've jerked off like places.
Yeah.
Like
not at my own house.
not at my.
Yeah. I've definitely jerked off not at my own house.
Yeah, that's what I mean by place. I feel like every guy has done that, but it feels like a sex crime to me because it is a sex crime if you really think about it.
Yeah, if you get caught, it's definitely
If you get but so many people have. I know I've heard so many stories of like people at high school jerking off in the car or or you know what I mean? Like, or in the bathroom at work. Like, that's really illegal. That's really illegal.
I feel like nowadays, especially, it's like super fucking illegal.
Yeah, you could be registered as a sex offender if you just want to bang one out on the side of the road. But everybody's done it. But a lot, like if you ask, I'll ask Matt later. But like if you ask most guys, like, what's the weirdest place you jerked off? Like in school, in the locker room. Like, oh no. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah, I wonder how that.
Very funny,
It's because we were talking about Mile High Club.
Mile High, it doesn't count.
Yeah, so it doesn't count. Okay.
Do you shit on planes? Let me ask you, would you rather? I've been doing this for the
I
past 2
might
days.
have, but like probably not.
Would you rather? Okay, you ready?
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Would you rather every time you have to take a shit, you go to Law Street and you shit in front of everybody? at the beach. Every time and you got to be like, yo, I'm taking a shit. You have to like tell everybody.
You're in the stall with like no like,
stall.
Side
I'm talking. Oh, no stall in front of everybody.
Law Street.
Like PB. The beach. You know that grassy area where everybody hangs out and like people do yoga and shit.
You just have to shit on the grass.
You shit there there. Every time you have to shit. So even if you're in El Cajon or in Rancho Bernardo, you have to drive to Law Street and take a shit every time. Okay. Or you can shit in your private, but you'd have to shit out of your mouth. Like the shit comes out of your mouth. But no one knows.
Why do you gotta ask me shit like this, bro? Someone's gotta know. First of all, I have questions now.
Okay.
So when you shit out of your mouth, like it's gonna like your mouth's gonna smell like shit.
But you get to brush your teeth and use mouthwash.
You have to always brush.
Instead of wiping your butt, you brush your teeth and you just like, and you only shit once a day. So like in the morning after you drink your coffee,
I'm thinking like, well, first of all, it's like a South Park episode, right?
Well, no, this is kinda.
But then like when you get the diarrhea and shit, bro.
Diarrhea out of your mouth.
Bruh. But the convenience convenience of pooping in your own place is different than like literally I have to shit. Now I have to drive to fucking Law Street and then take a shit. Mm-hmm. So I always have to shit at Law Street, no matter what.
No matter when
like, even if I'm fucking like on the East Coast. I have to like, well, fuck that. I'd rather shit out of my mouth, bro. I'm not flying across the country to take a shit.
Even if you're on the East Coast, you gotta hold it and you're sweating on the airplane. Sweating on the airplane, you get into a lift and you say, take me right to Law Street. And before you get out of the lift, like right when you get out of the lift, just let heat. Okay. Another would you rather?
Dude, I don't like these.
Come on, play the game. Would you rather? So you pee out of your butt, but there's chunks in it. You know the chunky pee out of your butt where it's like half and half.
Okay, I'm peeing out of my butt now. What
but
else?
You do it in your sleep in bed every time.
Are you just making this up on the fly?
No, I've been asking people for 2 days.
All right.
This is what my brain has turned into. This is what my brain has turned into. So you pee shit out of your asshole every time you go to sleep. So when you go to bed, no diaper, by the way. That's what everybody says. No diaper. Or you do that every time. Or every time you shit, you shit out of your pee hole.
Like full
poop comes out of your pee hole.
Where do you fucking... What? Dude, do you need to see a fucking psychiatrist or something? What is happening? Yo, we could talk after the podcast if you need some help or something.
No, I'm good, dude. You're my like fifth person I've talked to.
Pooping out of my pee-pee. Like full, it can't be a full-size shit. It wouldn't even come out.
It stretches.
It would just be like a really long poop.
like Play-Doh.
Yeah, like a Play-Doh poop.
So you may be in there 20 minutes.
Okay, and then
Play-Doh.
the other one was every time I go to bed, I just...
So if you have a girl in bed,
diarrhea in the...
If you have a girl in bed, if you're sleeping at your friend's house, if you're sleeping in a hotel, if you're sleeping at your mom's house, if you take a nap, you shit in your...
Obviously, I'm going to poop out of my pee-pee.
Okay, just ask it. Ask it. Hold on, let me write that down.
All right. All right, now everyone out there knows that I'm going to poop out of my pee-pee.
We're just having fun, man. We're just shooting the shit.
I'm fucking around.
Anyway, how's life treating you?
So, went from getting COVID to like, I don't even know where, dude. We're out in fucking left field somewhere.
Hope my mom listens to this.
But, so I'm doing better now. I fucking got sick. And then part of obviously getting COVID is isolating and doing all that. So it was weird. It was kind of like a forced, like, heroin withdrawal. Maybe not everyone's going to understand this, but it was like a forced heroin withdrawal in the sense of like isolation, like the symptoms of COVID are like, fatigue and body aches and, all this type of shit. So it was like a forced heroin withdrawal minus the obsession and adding a fever.
So it was like you were dope sick without the obsession.
It felt like being dope sick. So, and then also like mentally, I'm like, I didn't go anywhere. I was in my room and like, obviously like to the kitchen and get food and stuff, but I was just like isolated. So coming out of that, like it was almost like set me back to that state of mind. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of trippy and like.
Did it get dark?
No, it wasn't dark, but I was definitely like not operating anywhere near optimal level, you know. So I kind of felt like a little depressed and blah blah blah. But I'm coming out of it now. I had the ability to talk to a lot of good people, you know, and I'm coming out of it now, and I'm kind of excited now. Actually,
Good.
I have like a new
lease on life.
I have like a new like I guess lease on life, or just
And you finally came out of the closet.
exactly.
I'm so proud.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. So I could actually say the G word now, 'cause I'm gay.
I'm delusional today.
I get the pass. But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Like basically what it comes down to is, for me, is when I'm depressed, I'm usually complacent, I'm usually avoidant, I'm usually procrastinating. And it comes down to me being just starting to be in action in different areas of my life. So and once I start doing that, your boy comes back.
Your boy is back. It's interesting,
you know, and
how that
it's
works.
little fucking things too. You know what I mean? It's like the little fucking the bill that like I should have paid last week, or you know, calling somebody, or you know, going to help out the boy. You know, do some shit, like stuff that like just getting out of myself. And yeah, so I'm feeling better now, dude.
Word. It's tight, man.
And now we're back here talking about pee-pee and poo-poo.
Pee-pee and poo-poo coming out of the closet. You know, the little things in life.
Things are good, man. So I'm happy to be here, though, for sure.
Word.
Yeah, what's going on with you, dude?
Man, I talked about it on so this is going to come out Friday. So
Yeah.
I talked about it on a podcast earlier in the week. I've been living with, doing sober companion work and just life coaching to the umpteenth degree, living with someone, or at least spending 8 hours a day living with someone. It's very, very rewarding, very emotionally taxing. It's like having your kids all the time and not working and just taking care of kids all day, every day. Not saying he's a kid, but it's just breaking down small things. And I'm not going to get too much into
for sure,
into his personal thing, but I'm exhausted. Today is my
a little loony.
Really loony. You know what it is? Because I've been talking to him since Wednesday. Only like I've been talking to other people. I call people throughout the day just to like, but I can't have like a full in-depth conversation like because I'm in a house with him. So I've just been talking to him, which is not bad. Like he's a cool ass dude, cool young guy.
Well, I want to acknowledge you for like hitting me up a couple times. Like, yo, I just need to fucking hang out. And just, like, be regular.
Well, if I'm going to do this work, I need to do that. I need to. I need to align myself with you instead of aligning myself with him. You know what I mean? It's like because you're working kind of within the disease. When you're working within, you're not in recovery. When you work in recovery, you're doing. Person's doing steps. They're transforming, and we're not in that phase. He's not in that phase yet. We're in like the life skill stage where he's just learning how to live, which I'm cool. Like that's what my whole life has been culminating to.
Yeah.
So like it feels like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It doesn't feel like I'm not shoveling sand. You know what I mean? But
if you did, you could be Francis Ngannou.
I could be Francis Ngannou. But I'm the same size. Can you believe that that's who I would fight? Can you believe? When you think about it, I'm 280. He's who I'd be fighting. He's smaller than me. But yeah, I need to align myself with you and Benny, and I talk to my mom a lot, talk to my girl a lot, and just align with people because you can lose yourself. You know, I have a very good friend who works in that field too, who she and I like. She's responsible for the quality of my sobriety. She's changed my life entirely, and I owe her so much. And I'm only getting closer to her as we go. She taught me how to speak this language that I speak. So thank you to her. I'm not going to say her name, but I love her very much. She's been with me every step of the way. So I've been talking to her a lot, spending a lot of time with her. She worked with me, or I worked with her rather. But I just need to align with I don't want to say normal people because I'm not normal either. I'm bipolar. I'm an addict. But you get what I'm saying. So I get it. It's been emotionally taxing. Like when I came in here this morning to record, those were the first people that I talked to in real life that weren't in this bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, hi. And I went on a sick one on Monday's podcast. Yeah. I went on a fucking sick one.
I gotta listen.
A lot of shit going on in the world. A lot of, bro, you know?
Too much.
Savagery. You know, people always bring up, I'll only touch it for a second, but we talk about, what about Chicago? What about the crime in Chicago? What about the shootings? And yo, look at the savagery of across the planet of people of white heritage or white ethnicities. Look at the savagery. And we were taught this. The violence, look what we're taught. Look, the man who was shot in the back had 3 children in the back of his car.
We're talking about this dude got in Wisconsin or
in
wherever.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
He was shot 7 times in the back, paralyzed, handcuffed to a bed after being paralyzed by the police. No real crimes charged against him.
Wait, is this before he got shot?
This is after he got shot.
So they shot him
7 times in the back.
Took him inside and handcuffed to a bed.
Took him to the hospital. He's handcuffed to a bed.
Oh, okay.
And he had 3 children in the car who watched their father get shot in the back. Who's teaching us this savagery? So you talk about violence. We're watching. My children are watching. Who are we learning this from? It's not, we didn't come here, Black people didn't come here and rape and pillage. We were beaten and locked away and sold and ripped, our families ripped apart and hung and lynched and burned. Mm-hmm. Who taught this violence? And I talked about that, you know, earlier in this week's podcast, which was today, but, you know, and it really I'm angry, you know, but then I also talked about, people talk about being emotionally drained by this. I'm being radicalized, to be honest with you. I'm being radicalized. Yeah. I'm becoming more and more fuck you, more and more concerned with the consequences. It doesn't mean I'm going to act out violently, but fuck you. Like, fuck you. If you're going to defend this, like your dude who your friend,
yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Like, fuck your humanity. Why do I have to pay attention to your humanity? I'm tired of paying attention to your humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not, you want to defend, you know what I mean? Like, and we're the savages and we're the violent ones. That whole thing, it's Russell Brand, and this is all going to be a callback, so it's fine. But Russell Brand talked about during the Middle Eastern War how every time you drop a bomb in the Middle East, you're planting a seed of a terrorist, quote unquote terrorist.
Yeah.
You're killing a brother, a father, an uncle, a son. And what is that person going to do? They're going to now be at war with the person who's bombed them.
Yeah.
That is this country's history.
Or at least, like, be extremely resentful.
Extremely resentful.
Which is going to lead to...
When the cops tell you to stop, you're like, fuck you. Because, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to create dissent. I'm not saying that everybody should be controlled, but in a decent society, the society I want to live in is where you respect my life and I respect yours.
Yeah.
And the actions that are being shown are not a reflection of that. And the human decency that I loved, that I strived for as an American person, because people say, go, if you don't like it, leave. I've been here longer than you fuck. I can trace my family's history back to South Carolina. Guess where they're at? They were on slave plantations in South Carolina. My grandmother's sister is still in South Carolina right now. I've been here a long ass time, my family. Mm-hmm. So go back, I built this. This is mine. You know? So it's not go back, but the country that I am America that I want to be proud of, we are not that right now. We're so far from that. We're disgusting right now.
I think also the problem is nationalism. You know, like, people are afraid to have conversations like where we accept or admit that, like, not everything's great. You know what I mean? It's either like if you bring up some type of topic that someone's not comfortable with, it's immediately like, well, if you don't like it, you know, you could just get out.
So
it's like you go from like, okay, let's talk about facts.
Let's talk about ideas. Let's have a conversation.
Ideas, facts. Like, let's talk about what is happening right now. And it's like there's a portion of the population that does not want to engage in a conversation like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, If you don't like it,
You can
just
leave.
get out.
And now it's mixed in with conspiracy theory, and it's like it's a whole way. It's a whole. You know what it is?
It's like flat earthers that also have like their president.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
It's
have
like,
power. They have
yeah,
power.
it's like flat earthers but they have power.
Yeah, it's. I wish I could like profoundly like, sometimes I can like break something down so profound.
Yeah.
But really, what it is just weird. It's just like a weird ass thing like that we're looking at. Like, like what are you doing? And then when you try to talk about it, they're like, what? Well, Bill Gates won. It's like, whoa.
It's just, well, the thing is when you try to like dig down into a belief system or like what is causing this, then you could just bring up the next fucking conspiracy.
The next thing. And then
it's like, and then you're just, it's just like, and it's a forever loop that goes nowhere.
All the time. And I tried to have this conversation with someone in my extended family. I said to them, I said, hey, I know you're seeing what I post, because I'm going to do a podcast. I'm vocal. I'm aggressively vocal about how I feel about things. And I'm fortunate I get to be. And he was honestly affected by the things that I was saying. And he was treating me differently. And then I was worried he was going to treat my son differently. And I said to him, like I said before this podcast, I clean up my messes. If you wonder about what I'm talking about, I would love to break it down to you with history, with literature, with evidence. I would love, or just have a battle of philosophy. I'll break down my philosophy. You break down your philosophy. I'll tell you as to why. I'll tell you my experience. Like, I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
But then every time you do that, but then what about this? Like you said, but then what about that? But then what about that? And it's like, and then, but at the end, so the conversation ends with this person like, oh, I got to go take a shower. And then he gets out of the shower and we're sitting at the dinner table and I'm like, hey man, just want to let you know we could disagree and fundamentally disagree. And I still love you very much. And he like blew it off. So now there's this open air, like in family, in family, there's this open air of just like, it sucks, man.
There's just like, there's no concessions, man.
No, for no one. And that's what I'm saying. I'm tired of making concessions. Black people have been making I'm tired of making concessions. I'm tired of being like, it's not all cops and like, explain what defund the police means. And like me taking the time to like reframe it for some white motherfucker. So,
whoever has made that fucking saying,
abolish the police.
Yeah, just like,
well, people are being radicalized.
Yeah,
people are being radicalized. People are seeing terrible things and they're responding with like that's what they feel is the appropriate response. Oh, cops are nonstop killing people, then get rid of the cops. Can't trust the cops. And so people are being radicalized, and you're seeing it. Antifa radicalization, because I'm not an Antifa fan. I don't support any like far right or far left group. I think everybody's stop being weird, be in the middle, like reasonable person.
Most people are in the middle, and that's like something that infuriates me. Is the whole like pointing to the far left, pointing to the far.
Elections prove that more people in the middle. It's evident.
Dude,
it's evident.
There is such small like populations like far right and far left.
They call it the loud minority.
Yeah, and it's just like, but when you reference it, everyone references like the far others, like those motherfuckers on the far other side. They're the ones that are behind everything and they're controlling. Like, so what are you looking at?
No, I'm trying not to breathe on the microphone.
Oh, okay. So Joe Biden, right? Everyone's like, Joe Biden's far left and the socialists and the fucking communists and shit. First of all, I'm not here to defend Joe Biden. I actually really dislike Joe
I don't like him either.
I really dislike
him. Am I going to vote for him? Get this motherfucker out of here. Yes, I'm voting for him.
Like, so and this brings us back to like what are our options. But anyways, like, so saying Joe Biden is like a socialist is the furthest thing
Look at
from
his record.
what, like, all the bad things that he's done, you know, the crime bills and he was with Obama when they're kicking people out of their houses. Like, he is not a socialist.
No, not at all.
So, but to paint Joe Biden as a socialist and like people be like, yeah, he's a socialist, is just insane to me.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about earlier is like, does everyone think everyone else is insane? Like
right now, yeah.
Like seeing like how far off our discourse is.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of this. I'm really not proud of it. And I'm not emotionally drained. Fuck you. Still out here changing lives. That's how I ended the last podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
On a fuck you. Like I'm not wavering. You know what I mean? So it's not about being emotionally drained, but it is, people are fucking out of control.
Joe Biden is like a fucking moderate Republican.
Now he is.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. Everything
Obama, just keeps going right.
Even Obama was center right, not center left.
Yeah, so to call the
only thing that made him left was his blackness. Everything else he did, like tax cuts and things like that.
Yeah,
and he didn't have the opportunity to do like a lot of the social change that he wanted to. I think if Obama had the opportunity to, I think he would have made a larger impact.
What happened to the time when we were like proud of our president? You know what I'm saying?
It's gone. It's been 3.5 years. It's been 3.5 years of this, and now we don't talk about approval rating. We talk about disapproval rating. That's what people talk about. Like, how much do you hate this motherfucker? And like, these Fox News might talk about Donald Trump first of all, has it always 50-50? Like, it can't be. I think they're just polling old fucks who have because
no one's asked me.
No one's asked me.
No one's.
I've never in 30 years.
Nothing.
I've never been asked once. So you're asking people with home phones or something.
Yeah.
And if you did try to poll me, I'd hang up on you. I'm not even gonna answer it. Like, miss me with all that. But yeah, man, I'm not proud of where we're at right now.
But like seriously, so like, and this is something that when we're talking about people don't want to have this discussion about the direction our country's going. Look at who's running for president right now.
Yeah.
Like, look at the 2-party system and the 2 candidates we have to choose from. What happened to the time when, like, we had, like, Eisenhower in the fucking office, JFK, like...
Profound men.
Like, people who, like, stood for ideals, like, fucking...
Even if they were racist, which most of them were.
And we can still disagree about their policies, but still they were, like, people that you look up to. You know what I mean?
It's gone. But you know what? It's reality TV now. News plays a huge part in that. Entertainment news, like, for views and things like that. And man, it's a big ass mess we're in. And whether Trump wins, it's gonna be crazy if he wins. And if he loses, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, dude.
And the thing is,
the
people who support him, when they lose, they'll bring guns out. That's the scary part.
Well, we saw, and
we're not even gonna say his name because fuck.
I don't even know his name.
I made the joke earlier, and it's not a joke. But young, 16, 17-year-old white kids, there's no school. We can't shoot up schools. We're gonna shoot up like people in the street. Like, look, who taught us? Who is teaching us this? Who's doing the savagery? The savagery. Yeah. At least if you can break down like violence in the south of Chicago. That's what people always use. If you break down violence, people are poor, trying to make money, fucking growing up in trauma, growing up with being hunted by the police, growing up being hunted by their peers. So hypervigilance is a trauma response. So at least you can break that down pathologically.
Yeah.
You can break down some psychology there and say, look at this line here, and look how we got here, and look why we're here. And this is why we're here, and what can we do to change it?
And there's a lot of, like...
The factors
and studies and, like, fucking books written and, like...
A lot going into it, but when you look at random white violence, there's no rhyme. It seems like there's no rhyme or reason. It's just, I want to kill people. Oh, and they say, but they're depressed. But what about the hyper... traumatized people in Chicago? Are they?
Well, they don't have access to healthcare.
It's
if they can go to fucking a therapist or a psychologist and be like, "Hey, you're depressed."
It's trauma. If it's mental health issues that are making people kill each other at a rapid rate. It's mental health over here and it's mental health over here. But that's where, just based off that alone, it's privilege.
Yeah.
Just that shows you privilege because people don't even care to think about how these young kids are growing up. People don't even care. I knew kids. I went to school I went to Jamaica High School. I went to a bunch of schools, but Jamaica High School, kids had ankle bracelets on. I helped kids sneak guns in the back door. Like, Leo, let me in. I got and it was there was metal detectors. And actually, the gun counselor was like, Eric feels like he's too good to go here. I said, I am too good to go here. So I'm just gonna drop out. Like I told him that. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm in the wrong school. But like these kids, this one kid told me he was running back for our football team, but he had an ankle bracelet on. And I was like, what happened? He was like, I take care of my mom, my brother, and my sister. And I sell dope because I have to take care of my family. We live in 40 projects, and I am the one who takes care of the family. He told me that to my face. After football practice, we're standing there, we just ran our sprints. And he's like, yeah, I have to do this, Then I got jumped into a gang and did the whole shebang and was part of that life and did all that. But like, that was like directly after that. That was appealing to me at 16.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like we got to start being able to, as a society, like look at situations and look at different like classes of people and money and salaries and living conditions and like just start like tackling problems. You know what I mean? Versus like just being like, get out. You know what I mean? Like, dog, if you're just gonna say that every time when you like talk about some real shit,
and tell your boy, no matter how much he comments on my shit and calls me a stud, fuck you.
Okay.
Tell him, because I'm done. I'm done looking at humanity. Like I'm done trying to be the humanizer. I'm done. You know what, man? I'm gonna rant, dude. I'm tired of. I said it earlier this week. The shit I say on this podcast, you know me. The shit I say here, I say at your house with Patrick. When me and Patrick talking, do I not speak the same?
Yeah.
When I'm at a 12-step meeting, do I not speak the same? I speak the same to my kids. I speak the same everywhere. There is no part of my life where I'm not this way. And I am always trying to be decent. Does it always work? No, I offend a lot of people. And I say the wrong thing but I still always look at things and I'm like, I don't want to offend this person. I don't want to hurt this person. I don't want this person to be mad at me. I look at the world that way. And I'm getting tired of looking at the world that way. And I'm not supposed to lose my humanity, right? Like I can't let savagery steal my humanity. Yeah. But that's getting fucking annoying, dude. Yeah. I don't even want to say tiring. Because I'm not tired. Your boy is out here changing. I'm working with a kid, changing his life, working with clients. I'm fucking podcasting. My family, like we're doing it. We're doing raising children. Like I'm not exhausted. I'm out. I'm built different. We're doing it. But I'm tired of trying to humanize savagery all the time.
It is fucking annoying, dude. It's like the most annoying thing ever. And obviously I have a different perspective than you do, but like it's the most annoying thing ever, dude. Yeah. When you just can't get anywhere, you can't engage like vulnerably with anyone. It's just like, no. Dude, what are we doing here, bro?
And we become more isolated and we create echo chambers. We create circumstances where I talk to you a lot and I talk to Benny a lot.
The best thing is like seeing someone like post an obviously inflammatory, like gaslighting.
Gaslighting, yeah.
Just gaslighting people and then like getting something out of it. What are you getting at?
You know what every fifth post I see someone do that, I always say, you're not doing good. That's my comment. It's gotta be. That's my comment. You're not, because
I can't remember the last time I ever gaslighted anyone on social media.
Dude, I would never think. That's the thing.
Like, imagine fucking like literally like being, I can't wait to gaslight these people.
It's people are not doing good, and I think it goes to desperation, which I've done how many podcasts on desperation. Yeah, we talked about I think people are desperate financially right now. I think people are desperate. I think other people are. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, it was exhausting to experience this back and forth, this fight. He's being impeached. Who? Paul Manafort.
All
this
these
person.
Fucking people.
All these fucking this regime.
Bannon or whoever.
This regime change in and out. Kellyanne Conway. It's been constant barrage of action. So even I'm sure even conservative people are disillusioned and they're wide-eyed and hyper-vigilant, defending every move. Like, I like that if someone's not doing a good job, he gets rid of them. That's what someone said to me. I'm like, they're all indicted. They're all indicted on crimes. Like, they weren't, it's not that they were just doing bad jobs. They were criminals. Like, that's never happened before. But I think even conservative people are hyper vigilant. And like now, like when the posts I see, I honestly, I'm not the type to unfollow people because I think like I should be able to hear your.
It's kind of how I feel, but it's really hard.
It's really, what's hard is because it's inflammatory. And no matter what I say on this microphone, no matter what I say in anywhere, it's never about hate. Have you ever heard me say fuck that person in the sense that I don't want us to be unified? It's always about coming together.
Well, you just did.
What? With what?
When you're like, yo, tell you.
Oh
my, like, fuck you, dude.
No, well, but let me explain why. I say that because I've tried to humanize him. It's always me trying. So when I talk about politics with my in-laws, I say, you and I agree on most things. If I talk to your friend before, I would be like, we agree, and I'm finding ways to agree. That's just how I'm navigating it. I'm finding ways to agree with you. Like, and people are just not there anymore. They're just not at that space. So I don't want to be at that space anymore. So now it's unfollow. Now it's like, okay, there's no room. But then we're creating an echo chamber. People who agree with you. People who only like what you do, which I don't want that either. I want to be able to write. So I don't write fucking long political posts. I say them here. Mm-hmm. But if I want to be able to express an opinion, and if you disagree with my opinion, explain why. I get a prank call from Patrick. He was like, "Did you hear him?"
I was saying.
He's like, "You say." I said, and he said, "You said something on your podcast that was very insulting," and I didn't know who it was. It was a number I didn't know. I said, "Hey, let me know what I said." that was my response. It was like, "I'm sorry, man. Let me know what I said to offend you." That was it wasn't like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
That's just not the way my mind works. It's like, "Oh, I offended you. Let me explain why I said that." I'm tired of doing that though. Fuck, man. Like, it's radicalizing people. It's radicalizing people. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. You can't shoot people in the street. You can't shoot people in the street and tell people to get the fuck out. And you can't do that before people break.
Like what? I mean, what do you think is a proper... I don't even know if you know the answer, but like, how do we de-escalate from here? I don't think there is a de-escalation. I think we're like the train is like fully fucking loaded with like coal and steam, and it's just going, dude.
There is a young politician. Like, I can't say yet. Fuck, I want to say this so bad. I'll tell you off the mic. But there are young politicians right now who are priming and watching this, and we're in the next 20 years we're gonna see real fucking politicians who are going to change the world.
Once we get all these fucking old-ass career fucking politicians out of here.
They're going to die out, and we're going to see... I'll tell you off the mic why I know that. Why I know that. But we're going to see it. We're going to see people who grew up through 9/11, Great Recession, COVID, the recession of COVID, Donald Trump presidency, Donald Trump 2, or Joe Biden. We're going to see people and crack epidemic of the 80s, people in their late 30s.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of fucking
people
shit,
in their mid to late 30s who have seen all this, who have seen all of this and are moderate. There's a lot of those people are moderate. The people I know. I'll tell you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
But these people are moderate, reasonable, intellectual people who have played both sides of the political spectrum and are continuing. They're just starting their political careers. We're going to see greatness after this. We're going to. Yeah. Not right now, but we're going to see something great. I think. I hope. And you know why. You do know why I have such a positive. I can't wait till I can talk about it openly.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit, bro.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. But I do feel hopeful, just not today, not tomorrow, not this election year.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be when I'm 40. You know what I mean? It'll probably be when I'm 40, because that's how long political regimes go.
Even longer than that, dude.
That's how long political regimes go. It's 8 years, a decade, almost a decade of dealing with 1.5, one and a
Yeah.
quarter person. You know what I mean? Like, so we're not going to see it just yet, but in the next 10 years, we're going to see, because there's really people who are going to, like New York City is going to be rebuilt. New York City is going to be rebuilt in a different way. And I listen to Joe Rogan, and he's like, New York City's an animal house. No, it's not. I know for a fact. I have friends who are in the prosecutor's office. It's not. It's summertime. You know what happens in the summertime?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
N-words are shooting.
The streets are hot.
The streets are hot in the summertime in New York. And it's always been like that. I was fighting every day in the summertime. We chasing people down the street in the summertime. It's just what happens. In urban areas in the summertime, people too close to each other. It's fucking, now we got COVID.
Trying to go outside, and then someone's looking at you weird and shit.
Yeah, it's so that summertime, that'll cool down. But people are like, oh, New York City is ravaged, and Los Angeles is a ghost town. We're about to see these cities be rebuilt in a different way. I really believe so.
I definitely hope for that, man, because that's all we really got, right?
And even if they're rebuilt in a more moderate way. I don't want them to be liberal utopias. Look at Seattle and look at Portland. Those are way too liberal.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you have? You have people shooting, like 20-year-old kids running away from home, going to Seattle or Portland to just shoot dope in the street because they can go to the needle exchange on every corner. Like, you have that's gone too far.
Yeah, it's so complex, bro. But I don't want to say that
There's
because
too
it's
many
so
fucking
complex.
people.
I don't want to say because it's so complex that there's no solution. But so something I was talking about with one of my managers actually today. We're just talking about state of the nation shit, and so the whole the idea of the drug war and the idea of the prison system and all that shit. It's we gotta start fucking making this shit not a punishable offense in the sense of where you're just thrown into the system.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Other countries have done it already, but we're just too many people.
But so you're saying people running to Seattle to do that, but if people can get their needles and whatever at home, then they could just fucking stay there. You know what I mean?
2 countries have done. People don't know this, but. Hold on, let me get it right. It's either Sweden.
I think Portugal.
No, Portugal, I'm going to get to that one in a second. But Sweden or Switzerland had a ravaged heroin addiction problem. And the prime minister lived in front of this huge park where all the junkies would. It was
needles all over.
Needles everywhere. It was a crime-ridden. And she said, we're going to give prescription heroin. And you can come to the clinic, get your dose for the day. This is clinical. This is the purest of pure heroin.
China
I'm pretty sure it's liquid. It's liquid.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook anything.
Yeah.
It's pure heroin. And you can do they give you a clean needle, you get your prescription heroin, and you can go to work. And you get purpose, community and purpose. We did a whole podcast on that. Yeah. And that's what we have in recovery, right? That's what we were given. We were given a place to be every day. We were given a group of friends. We were given, we got our jobs. We had a task. They said, here, when you get here, you have these steps to go through. You have this task. You get to the end of this task. And even if the spiritual experience is fake, you just completed this task that brought you into a new phase of your development. Yeah. Even if, you know what I mean? So, but what they did in this country, I can't remember, Switzerland or Sweden, but they gave out prescription heroin and put people to work. And they essentially, they decriminalized it. They said you can no longer go to jail. And they treat it as a public health issue. And we have to treat it as such. And I work in that space now. I work in that space, and I'm fully enveloped in that space. And it's human services. It's human services. We're working with human services. Yeah. So, boom. but it's a public health issue. And that'll go right into Portugal. Portugal, and I use this example years ago, because this has happened now 20 years ago or something like that. Portugal decriminalized all drugs because they had a huge heroin problem. And by decriminalizing all drugs, they made, instead of sending people to jail, they sent them to treatment, and they gave them community and purpose. They gave them friend groups. They gave them work release. They gave them, they could buy drugs clean and safe, and they eradicated the drug trade. Oh, it's decriminalized. You can get it anywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but there's too many people in this country, and there's too many people who just don't know what we're talking about. I just saw that. I reposted that. There's people in yeehaw towns, 3,000 people or 30,000 people who are talking about what's happening in Los Angeles and New York. Shut the fuck up. Like, the people in the desert, like, I'm going to speak direct. The people in the Coachella Valley who have opinions about California, you're in the bubble, dude. You're not allowed. Talk about your local politics. Like, you're allowed to talk about your local politics. If you don't live in San Diego, LA, San Francisco, New York, don't talk about it because you have no idea what it's like. And that goes back to the Kamala Harris thing. People talk about her track record. Motherfucker, you have no clue what it's like to be a district attorney in one of the largest bureaucracies, in one of the largest populated places in this country. You have no idea. You have no idea. And everybody's got a fucking opinion. And we having a fucking opinion, but at least my opinion is that I don't know.
My opinion is always subject to change.
Oh, 100% I contradicted myself already on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
fine
I do it all
doing
the
that.
fucking time. Yeah. My opinion is always subject to change. And it has to be that way or else I would lose my shit. So I can understand why people are losing their shit because if you have an opinion and you're seeing on the news, like conflicting opinion and you're like, no, what? You just get all fucking like lit up. You know what I mean? Opinion always has to be subject to change. No one knows fucking everything.
Anthony Avalos said it. He said, don't ever be married to your own ideas that you can't analyze them in your own mind. He said, that's dogmatic. That's what we talk about religion. People have become religious. We talked about this over and over and over again. People have become religious in their belief systems. And the difference between ideas and religion and dogma is belief. Dogma is like faith. And when it's faith, now you're not like talking to a 3-year-old, right? You're talking to someone who just believes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why it goes around in circles. Because you're talking to someone.
Yeah, and what about
it? Because you're talking.
What about the NASA photos that are fucking doctored and shit?
You're talking about their belief system. You're not talking about an idea because you say, hey, here's the literature, here's the study. But science is here's the study that conflicted that one where they proved it even further to a different degree.
Well, if you can always just and I think something that causes a lot of mistrust is like not everyone. A lot of people don't trust the government. A lot of people don't trust institutions. A lot of people don't have trust for a lot of things. And it's easier to be like, oh, well, look at that bad thing. Or, even science. Like, oh, when people fucking talk about science and they're like, well, science always fucking changes their mind on shit or whatever the fuck, people say. It's just like, dude, that's not an excuse to say, like, you can't just throw the whole fucking thing out because, like, one study. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, well, look at this one study and just throw fucking everything out the window.
Yeah, man.
But it's the easy thing to do, and that's what we're doing right now.
I'm not proud of where we are.
Let's throw it all out, dude.
I'm not proud of where we are.
Dude, we were talking before. I was like, dude, let's just start it over, bro.
Hey, you're out.
Just press.
You're out.
Let's just nuke the whole thing, dude.
Hey, you. Hey, Jesse's friend. Take a hike. Hey, you.
You just get out. If you don't like it, just get out, dude.
Take a hike. we got it.
But yeah, dude, and that's the thing is, as much as I think I'm rational and sane, and as rational and sane as one can be, being like a recovering heroin addict, but as much as I think that, I'm sure everyone thinks that.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks that they're the they have all the information and the rationality, and
I'm very intentional about this on this podcast that I speak from my experience. That's what I'm. So one thing I've kind of protected myself. I've tried to protect myself here, where I speak about my opinion based off my experience, based off of what I know from my own personal life. You know what I mean? Knowing people in bureaucracy, knowing people in that life, knowing the decisions that they have to make, and just briefly understanding, like when I can talk about, like, you not understanding what Kamala Harris is dealing with, because I know people who on a lower level do what she does, and I can't perceive what they're doing. I'm not qualified to talk about what they're doing. I know them, have them in my family. I can't. So I know you can't, Greg. I don't know what your fucking name is, Kevin. Yeah. I know you can't because I can't. So I'm always sharing my experience. So I feel protected in that. And my experience changes. And when I'm wrong, I'm okay being wrong. Like, I'm okay being wrong. But right now, there's a lot. Here's what I feel like I'm not wrong about. here's one thing I will say I'm not wrong about. We are divided in a disgusting way. We're divided in a nasty way that's making us so mean to each other. And it's making me, who's a generally nice person, be meaner, be more. And
it's gross.
And it's gross. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it feels. And I grew up wanting to love, wanting to be, you know, I always tell the story about crying to my mom, saying that race is not a thing. I didn't want it to be this way. This is not, I wasn't inherently hateful. I wanted to be a part of this, but it was taught to us, and it's being taught to us. And Fox News and CNN are teaching us even further. It's so fucking disheartening, but I'm not exhausted. We out here grinding.
Yo, dude.
We out here grinding.
Fuck it all, dude. Let's fucking go, dude.
That's how I ended the last podcast. I was like, fuck you. I came in here on a sick one, dude.
Dude, it's hard not to be on a sick one, man. Yeah, and it's cool to be able to come and talk about this, you know, on the mic and stuff. And like, it's just stuff that keeps me up at night sometimes, you know. I'm just thinking, like,
I haven't had time to think about this past
I honestly, I've developed a thicker skin, you know, as of like the last year, I guess. Ever since like I saw the whole like we're gonna keep Bernie out of the fucking nomination thing, my skin just started building. I was like, all right, man, there's like, I need to protect myself in some type of way because I can easily get lost and get radicalized.
Yeah.
And not, anyways, but like, so I started developing a thicker skin, but still like I want to like come up with some solution. I want to like think about it enough and like come up with some solution. Yeah. But you just get lost in the sauce.
My brother told me specifically, he said, Eric, you don't have to figure this out. He said, you don't have to figure this out. And I'm so thankful he said that. I don't need to have the answers. Neither do you.
Yeah.
Neither do you. But we do get to speak on this microphone. We do. And we get to share our experience. And hopefully some people relate to our experience. If they don't relate to our experience, they get to hear another experience. And you keep sharing it. You know, you keep sharing it. You know who listens to this podcast a lot? Canadians. Canadians listen to this.
Canadians are awesome, though,
because they're the shit, and they're accepting. Yeah. Shout out to all our Canadian fans, man.
Well,
shout out to Mandy. She's the low key fucking. She's a rider.
Yeah, dude, Mandy's been
with us from the jump. But you know, man, just I don't know.
We could always just move to Canada, you know.
I would be down. But I would, dude. This is gonna. I hope my girl doesn't listen. But every time my homegirl from Montreal, she's like, Eric, if you move to Montreal, bro, you'd fucking crush it. And the girls in Montreal, French Canadian girls, are so dime pieces. And they are really. I just wouldn't move there because it's trouble. Yeah, it would ruin my life.
They're super hot, dude.
Dimies. But
all right, so we're going to Canada. Fuck all this.
Fuck all this shit. Fuck these kids. Sorry, Dad's gotta go.
It'd be kind of cool, dude.
Oh,
it's just cold, man.
It's so cold. So cold. So cold. I don't want to do any more. Like, I was cold. It's at the meeting. It was like 67 degrees. I was like, ooh, it's chilly. Gonna get my North Face sweater out.
Do you think like it being cold has anything to do with like progressivism or something?
No, I think cities do.
Cities definitely do.
I think cities do. I think like if you...
So Canada, right?
Oh,
is more progressive, and then you got like the Northern European countries like that are like, you know, a little bit more progressive in a sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But
then you got Russia over there.
A lot of those Northern European countries are conservative in other ways.
Yeah. No, when I say progressive, I don't mean like socialism and communism.
People forget it. Like in Switzerland and Sweden, those places, Amsterdam, there's order. There's order, and it's not, but that's what's interesting. And same thing in Canada, there's order, not because of a fist, but because of decency. Because they're like, hey, like,
yeah,
I'm not going to drive a car. I'm going to ride my bike.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's decency. But Americans are so fucking cowboy, like, woo, fuck you, man.
If you don't like it,
you can get the fuck out of here. I'm going to lift this truck.
Fucking wild, bro. So brings back to Idiocracy. You saw the movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh man,
everybody always brings it up.
Yeah, well, it's just basically what it is right now. And that's that, bud. I'm over talking about the fucking state of the nation, you know?
No, honestly, I like when you come in, and you don't have to come in all the time and get us worked up, but I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
I've intentionally not been talking about politics. I've been talking about fear. And I listened to that Ron Funches podcast with Joe Rogan, and I've been doing that. I use it as a thought exercise, not so much a writing exercise, but love, hate, and fear. Talking about love, hate, and fear. What do I love, hate, and fear? So I've been thinking about that really, and thinking more introspectively in that regard instead of thinking about politics.
Real quick. So I sent you that the Portal podcast, and I'm giving Eric Weinstein the credit for formulating this, but he read an essay about someone in 1944, like during World War II. I think it was a Polish guy, and he like snuck in. He like purposely got pretended to be Jewish, got taken into the concentration camps to like figure out what was going on there, because no one knew, like in the outside world, no one knew what was going on in the concentration camp. He went in, he fucking got information. He figured out a way to get out. He came out, he wrote this whole fucking thing, he started sending it to people. No one believed him. Wow. Because it was such an insane thing that everyone was like, you're fucking insane. And he wrote this whole essay about like what it was like trying to explain what was happening and like no one listening. Yeah. So then Eric obviously breaks it down, and everyone, you have to listen to this fucking podcast.
I'm gonna listen to it.
It's amazing.
I got time to.
But he basically brings it to like what we're dealing with now. It's like it seems so insane, like the two-party system and like the powers that be and like the media and like all this shit and like what's going on beneath. It just seems so insane that no one can listen. Yeah. Like you have a protective mechanism in your body that you just shut off. Yeah. Like I can't understand it. Yeah. And it's insane.
Yeah. You know,
so it's like a thing it happens. Like there's always that like canary in the coal mine that's like yelling and everyone's like, you're fucking crazy. And then like 10 years later, you're like, oh man, that guy was fucking right. You know what I mean?
And that's why I think we're going to have a whole new breed of politician. We're going to have a whole new breed of politician who's watching this. And there are canaries in the coal mine, but they're quietly watching the way the world's moving. You know, I think I really have a lot of hope for the next decade. You wouldn't believe
it has to get better, man.
Oh, it does get better, and I really don't think. I think we're such an economic superpower, even in this time, even in a recession, we're such an economic influence that we're. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We just gotta get the right person, or not the right person, because it's never one person. No, but the right people that start steering the ship in a different direction.
In the next 10 years, we need so many of these motherfuckers to die. Hey, Mitch McConnell.
Everyone, if you're there should be like a retiree rate, like an automatic. You have to retire, bro.
Hey, take a nap. hey, even Bernie. Hey, Bernie.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Bernie.
Everyone, dude.
Joe Biden. Take a nap. I think we got it.
Go night, bro.
Go take it. Go ahead. Just retire. Just take a nap. We have like dope ass 40-year-olds who are like ready to go. We have dope ass 40-year-olds who are ready to go.
Who like understand
and then aren't just old white. Like that's another thing. People in California, and I love it. I love when people are like, can you believe what AOC said? I'm like, she's in the Bronx, dog. Why are you even worried? But what's dope about AOC and what's dope about that whole, I forgot what all those women's name. But we need. Let me not say that. I would like to see our government reflect our population. So that's why I say, hey, take a nap, and that's why Kamala Harris. I want her there because Black women are so underrepresented. Brown women are so unrepresented in politics, in everything, in their voices are just not heard in the way that they should be in my belief system. So Kamala Harris, just off of that, and you see how they instantly critique her race, but both Black people and white people. Isn't that fucking?
It's just
how
insane,
insidious is that?
Yeah.
To question this woman's existence, all the stuff that she had to deal with as a brown person. Now you're not brown enough. Yo, we're disgusting. That's disgusting to do to somebody.
I think the important thing, because we're talking about, these older white politicians or whatever, I think the important thing is not to say it's because they're white that they're not good.
No.
But it's just in terms of like the whole point of our government, it's supposed to represent the people.
Absolutely. It should reflect its population.
Yeah, dude, we love fucking old white dudes if they fucking are representing their shit, but we need other people to represent everyone else.
That's the whole
point of a representative government.
The one thing I did politically post, and I'm very strategic about this. If you're a Democrat and you think all Democrats should dictate the way the country works, you're an asshole. If you're a Republican who thinks that your way of thinking should be the only way that governs the entire country, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And you both sides wrap themselves in the flag and say, this is America, and it's a blend of equality. Hey, this is America, the land of all kinds of shit. The land's a hell of shit.
We should change on like currency. Currency instead of
title of the podcast, America, the land of all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Remember that. Write that down.
Yeah.
Just get it.
That's a good one.
But like that's what it is. It's the land of all types of fucking people. So it's like I don't want a country that's entirely run by Democrats or Republicans. I want
or Democrats and Republicans, or you know what I mean.
I want my in-laws to be represented. I don't want them to not be represented. I want to be represented as well. And right now, I don't feel represented. And right now, a lot of black and brown women don't feel represented, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And my barber asked me today, Eric, what do you think? Do you think it's ever going to change, the race thing, the socioeconomic race thing? I said it's never going to go away because right now we have half the population who doesn't even believe it exists. They will argue that it exists. People in the Coachella Valley will say, you're race baiting. It's always about race. How many black people you know? I've been coming to these family functions. I've been coming to these family functions for 5 years. I've only been the only black person. Always. Yeah. So you know what it's like, it's fucking crazy, man. But I want everybody represented. I don't want people to not feel like their voices are heard. Yeah. That's America. I love America. I love what this country has the potential of being and what this country has it's built my heroes, Leg sleeve is gonna have Stokely Carmichael and Martin Luther King. There's a picture of them together. Bruce Lee with the fucking cuts on him.
Oh, yeah, the fucking 8-pack, bro.
Elton John in the big fucking white thing and like the fucking glasses, dude. I'm going to just build up portraits of like heroes on my leg. And they're not all black. I might get The Rock, too. I might just go hard in the paint and get fucking...
But he has to be doing this.
Doing the eyebrow?
Yeah.
Dude, I would... See, I'm doing my whole left leg like that.
Dude, I love fucking wrestlers like special moves. You know what I mean?
Dude, I had the WWF entrance music CD.
Oh yeah,
of
dude.
all their entrance
like
music.
Shawn Michaels. Like,
yeah.
But dude, I love the special moves, dude.
Sweet
like
chin music.
The people, yeah, just like, but even the people's elbow, it's like the act of like ripping the thing off was like where all the damage came from. Like some of the fucking special moves, they weren't even like that powerful moves, but because it was a special move, you're out.
You're out.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, he fucking like clothesline. Like what was Hulk Hogan's? He drops like a leg on someone.
Leg drop is heavy.
Drop a leg, game over, bro.
Mr. Sacco put his hand in your mouth and you're like, no, I can't do it.
And just pass out for fucking like 5 minutes. Dude.
Oh man. Dude, wrestling was the shit, man. We had a spare mattress. We put a mattress in the backyard and we were power bombing each other and we were slamming each other. I had a fucking sock. That was my favorite. Mankind have always been a fucking weirdo.
Dude,
I was like, I like
cool,
that guy. I was like, I like that guy.
Yeah, the guy that pulls a sock out of his fucking
with the
crotch.
fucking weird mask. That was like, and then what's his Dude Love and fucking Cactus Jack. I like
fucking D-Generation X.
Suck it.
How much did you walk around in your school just fucking... just like so everywhere you go, like, yo, fucking suck it, dude.
I'm pretty sure they banned it in my school. Like, you cannot do the suck it symbol in this school. Yeah, man. We'll end on that.
Yeah, dude.
America, blends of all kind of shit.
Hulk Hogan fucking 2024, bro.
Leg drop on that ass. All right, man, we're out of here.
All right, let's go, dude.
Let's go.
Vultures circling above, they all in a piece, but they don't even know my name. Won't get even to swipe for the train. Cloud Audi, ride to the airport, gotta get right for the plane. Custom smell like kush, wifey hand in a tish. Yes, and I got no shame. So rely on the shine, with a broke if you got no game. Waking up next to a scat, can't go home to a thing. Nah, tell them sell to the same. Really though, who can they blame? I don't blame them either. They just wanna play the game and they're eager still. I don't wanna know you. I'm busy. You don't even know thyself.